The story of the woman with the issue of blood is a profound and timeless account of faith, courage, and healing. Found in the Gospels of Mark 5:25-34, Matthew 9:20-22, and Luke 8:43-48. This narrative offers deep insights into the transformative power of faith and the compassionate nature of Jesus. For 12 long years, a woman suffered from a chronic condition described as an issue of blood. This condition, likely a form of hemorrhaging, rendered her not only physically weak, but also socially and spiritually isolated. According to Jewish law, her condition made her ceremonially unclean, Leviticus 15 verses 25-27. This meant she was barred from participating in temple worship and was likely ostracized by her community. The burden of her illness was thus more than physical. It extended into every aspect of her life. She had spent all her resources seeking a cure. Mark's account vividly describes how she had suffered much under many physicians and had spent all that she had and was no better but rather grew worse. Mark 5 verse 26. The desperation of her situation cannot be overstated. Medical treatments at the time were rudimentary, and her worsening condition likely deepened her sense of hopelessness. Despite her exhaustion and despair, the woman clung to a glimmer of hope when she heard about Jesus. Jesus had gained a reputation as a healer and miracle worker. Crowds often followed him wherever he went, hoping to witness or experience his power. On this particular day, Jesus was on his way to the house of Jairus, a synagogue leader whose daughter was gravely ill. The streets were teeming with people pressing in on him from all sides. In the midst of this chaos, the woman saw her opportunity. Her faith sparked a bold determination. "If I touch even his garments, I will be made well." Mark 5 verse 28. This decision was not without risk. In her unclean state, she was not supposed to be in such close proximity to others, let alone touch anyone, as doing so would render them ceremonially unclean as well. Yet, her desperation outweighed her fear. She approached Jesus from behind, seeking to remain unnoticed. With trembling fingers, she reached out and touched the fringe of his garment. Immediately, her bleeding stopped. She felt in her body that she was healed of her affliction. The relief must have been overwhelming. For the first time in 12 years, her body was whole, and the torment of her condition was gone. However, her secret act of faith did not go unnoticed by Jesus. He stopped abruptly and asked, "Who touched my garments?" Mark 5 verse 30. The disciples were incredulous. With so many people pressing around him, how could he ask such a question? But Jesus was not referring to an accidental touch. He perceived that power had gone out from him and sought the one whose deliberate act of faith had drawn it. The woman, realizing she could not remain hidden, came forward. Trembling with fear, she fell at his feet and confessed the whole truth. Instead of rebuking her, Jesus responded with compassion and affirmation. "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your disease." Mark 5 verse 34. His words were profound. By addressing her as daughter, he affirmed her value and restored her dignity. It was a term of endearment and inclusion, counteracting the years of isolation she had endured. His declaration that her faith had made her well emphasized the importance of her trust in him. The physical healing she experienced was accompanied by emotional and spiritual restoration. This story holds significant lessons for believers today. First, it highlights the transformative power of faith. The woman's healing was not the result of a magical touch, but of her faith in Jesus' ability to heal. Her faith was active and determined, driving her to overcome societal barriers and personal fears to reach out to him. Second, the narrative showcases Jesus' compassion and willingness to engage with individuals, even in the midst of pressing demands. Despite being surrounded by a crowd and on his way to address another urgent need, Jesus paused to acknowledge the woman and affirm her faith. His actions demonstrate that no one is too insignificant or unclean to receive his attention and grace. Third, the story underscores the holistic nature of Jesus' healing. He did not merely address the woman's physical condition, he also restored her socially and spiritually. By publicly affirming her healing, he removed any doubt about her purity and reinstated her into the community. In addition to these lessons, the woman's story serves as an encouragement to those facing long-term struggles. Her 12 years of suffering remind us that God's timing may not align with our expectations, but his power is always sufficient. Her perseverance and faith inspire us to continue seeking God's intervention, even when the odds seem insurmountable. The woman with the issue of blood is a powerful example of faith in action. Her story invites us to approach Jesus with the same boldness and trust, confident that he is both willing and able to meet our deepest needs. In a world often marked by brokenness and despair, her testimony shines as a beacon of hope, reminding us that faith in Jesus can lead to profound transformation and peace. When the woman touches Jesus' garment, her healing is immediate. This moment illustrates the power of Jesus, who not only has authority over physical ailments, but also responds to the faith of those who seek him. It is significant that Jesus stops to address the woman personally, even though the crowd presses around him. His question, "Who touched me?" is not out of ignorance, but an invitation for the woman to come forward and share her testimony. By doing so, Jesus affirms her faith and restores her dignity in the eyes of the community. This interaction highlights an important aspect of the lesson. Jesus values individual faith and personal connection. He could have let the healing go unnoticed, but he chose to acknowledge the woman publicly, showing that no one is invisible to him. This act also teaches that faith in Jesus is not a transaction, but a relationship. The woman's physical healing was accompanied by spiritual restoration as Jesus told her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace." For modern readers, this story is a reminder that no situation is beyond the reach of God's power. It encourages perseverance in seeking Jesus even when society or circumstances seem insurmountable. Moreover, it underscores the importance of faith as a means to experience God's transformative power. In conclusion, the lesson from the woman with the issue of blood is a testament to the power of faith, the compassion of Christ, and the hope available to all who seek him. Her story continues to inspire believers to approach Jesus with confidence, trusting in his ability to heal and restore, both physically and spiritually.